This is an instructional video for the setting of aeroflow electric radiators. There are 4 buttons on the aeroflow radiators, 4 smaller ones and 2 larger ones. We're going to call these buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is check and change some of the factory defaults on the configuration menu. To enter the configuration menu, you should have the radiator in standby, which means you have a symbol showing a circle and a vertical line in the circle. To get to that mode, press button 5. This either turns the radiator on and you'll see a sunshine symbol, or turns the radiator off, you'll see the standby symbol. Now, if you press and hold button 5, keep it held until you see a change in the screen. Okay, now at this point you will either see some figures on the screen showing a temperature, or you'll see 4 dashes like I have here. If you see a temperature, which will as a standard look like this when you first get the product, it will be 3.5. What I'd like you to do is use the plus key, which is button 3, to increase. Keep pressing it one at a time. It will increase. Keep pressing until it goes to 10 and then 4 dashes. Then press OK. On the next screen it should be 0.0. This is the thermostat regulation. So if you have a thermometer that's reading differently to the radiator thermometer and you'd like them to read the same, you can change this calibration for them to match, but in most cases this should be left at 0. So press OK again, button 4. This next menu, menu 3, is for you to determine how long you'd like the backlight to stay on for once you press a button. And you can change that for however many minutes you would like the backlight to stay on for. I'm going to leave it on maximum just for the purposes of the demonstration. Press OK, button 4. The next menu is for you to determine whether you want it to, under normal circumstances, show you the temperature of the room or the set point of the thermostat. On 0 as it is now, it will always show me the room temperature. If I change that using one of these 2 buttons, button 2 or 3, if I change that to 1, afterwards then it will be showing me the display of the set point instead of the room temperature. But I'm happy to leave it on 0 and have the room temperature showing. So I'm going to press OK. 42 then comes up. This is just a product number and means nothing. Press OK again, button 4. This takes us back to the standby screen. The next thing to do is to set the current day and the time of day. So to do that, we press button 6 now. You'll see the numbers 1 to 7 flashing on the right hand side. These are the days of the week, 1 being Monday through to 7 being Sunday. To change it, use button 2 or 3 to move the arrow to your current day of the week. So today is Friday, that should be 5 for example, and then press OK, button 4. Now the hours will flash, so you can change the hour of day. It's currently 6 o'clock, so I'm going to change that to 1800 and OK on button 4. Now the minutes are flashing, so I'm going to take that down to 0. It's exactly 6 o'clock. And press button 4 again. Now the days of the week will then start flashing again, but everything is now set, and to exit this mode we press button 5. It will take us back to standby. Okay, the next thing for us to do is to set the temperatures that you would like in this particular room. So we turn the radiator back on again using button 5, and you'll immediately be in comfort mode. This is where you can set the temperature that you want the the room to be when traditionally you would have the heating on at those times. So for most people that might be around 19 to 21 degrees. I'm going to select 19. You change it by using button 2 or 3, plus or minus here. This is where you can also use the radiator manually. If you want to use the radiator manually, you just leave it on this mode and you select the temperature that you'd like the room to be, and it will simply continue maintaining that temperature until such times as you turn it off or change the thermostat setting. Okay, next thing to do is press button 6. That will take us to the next mode, which is frost protection. The factory setting is 7.5 degrees for the frost protection setting. There's no need to change that unless you have a specific need for a different temperature. Button 6 again. Now this takes us to the economy mode or setback temperature. This is the temperature that you might like to have instead of traditionally where we would have the heating turned off. You might just like it to drop back to a setback temperature, and that should typically be about 5 degrees less than your comfort temperature. So in my case I've set that to 19 degrees. So the comfort being 19, I'm going to make this economy setting 14, so I'll have a 5 degree difference between the two. Okay, once that's done, press button 6 again. Now we're in the auto screen. Now the auto screen is the screen that you should always have the radiator in during normal programmed operation. To change the programming, we press button 2. Above it, it says prog. So that's going to enter us into programming. Now it shows on the screen there is an arrow on the right hand side top corner pointing at number 1. So that's Monday. So now we're setting Monday. The time on the screen is midnight, and the first blocks are flashing at midnight. Now I can set, at the bottom here, I can choose comfort, economy or frost protection for each hour of the day. So if I select comfort, that means it will be, in my case, 19 degrees for those times. If I select economy, it will be 14 degrees for those times, and if I select frost protection, it will be 7.5 degrees for those particular times. So I'm going to set a typical typical worker's profile. So that might be choosing economy setting through the night to maintain a setback temperature until maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you'd like the heating to come on up to your comfort temperature for possibly 2 hours. Then you leave for work. Maybe you want the economy setting again there for the day, throughout the day whilst you're at work, so I just keep pressing that. Every hour it gives me an economy setting until maybe 6 o'clock when I get in from work, and then I'd like comfort temperature for a few hours, perhaps until 11 o'clock when I go to bed, and then economy again. So that's set the profile for the day. In the same way, if you don't want the economy set back, for those times where I selected the economy during the night and during the day, you could have selected to have frost protection, which means that the radiator's off unless the temperature in that room should drop very low to below 7.5 degrees. Now, if you're a working person and you want that profile, then perhaps you want the profile for each of the 5 days of the working week, Monday to Friday. Instead of having to do it all again for the next day, you can use button 4 here to copy those settings from day to day. So if I press OK once, it will move to the next day without copying. If I press and hold OK, and I'm watching for the arrow on the right hand side to move from day 1 to day 2, whilst I'm depressing that button, it's moved, I can release it. That has copied the same settings from Monday to Tuesday. I'm going to do the same again, press and hold, wait till the arrow moves from 2 to 3, and release. Same again, press and hold, it will move from 3 to 4 and release, and again from 4 to 5 I'm going to press and hold, and that's copied from Thursday to Friday. Now Saturday and Sunday I probably want different settings, so this time I'm just going to press OK to move to day 6, which is Saturday. Now on Saturday I'm going to have an economy setting, so button 2 through the night. I'm going to get up a little bit later, 10 o'clock in the morning, where I want comfort temperature. I'm going to keep pressing button 1 to take me all through the day. I want comfort temperature all day and into the evening until bedtime at 11. So that's the profile set for Saturday. Now I'm going to copy that to Sunday because I want the same, so press and hold OK, watch for the arrow moving from 6 to 7 and release. Now this time just press OK, don't hold it, and that takes me back to the auto screen. Now everything is now set. All you have to do is leave the radiator in that screen. The blocks will be flashing at the current time of day. The profile along the bottom should show the profile that you've set, that you would like for that particular day. The screen is showing me the current room temperature, which in this case is 20.8 degrees. If I press button 4, it will just flash up my set point, which is 19 degrees. So the radiator is not on because the room is 20.8 degrees. I've set that I would like the room to be 19, so unless the room drops to 19, because we're in the comfort temperature time, unless the room drops below 19 degrees, the radiator will not turn on. So that's the radiator completely set and ready for use.